About two things I was certain. I was irrevocably in love with Edward Cullen, the vampire. And this Halloween wig hasn't lasted very well at all. Honestly, I was Team Jacob. What about you? Or the better question, would you be interested in reliving all the fun this winter in a Twilight read-along? Let me know in the comments. Hi, my name's Bella, B, and welcome to my channel, Mama Needs to Read Romance. Twilight romance? Hello and welcome to my November TBR. Yes, I just mentioned January because of course all the booktubers are already thinking about 2024 and I am no exception. I, as well as many of my favorite booktuber gal pals, have talked about the possibility of doing a Twilight read-along beginning in January and taking us through the winter months, revisiting Edward, Jacob, and Bella, including the movies, the soundtracks, the main books, plus the novellas, and the alternate versions as well. But I need your help. Leave me a comment below to let me know if you might like to relive your Twilight era with us this winter. But of course, this TBR is all about November, and I'm so excited. I'm going to be doing something new and fun that I'd like to do every single month. I've taken 12 historical romance authors. Whoever I land on, that is who I'm going to be reading in that month. Every month, you're going to see the 11 authors that I didn't choose the month before, plus a new one to make 12. I'm hoping to get to all the fabulous historical romance authors at some point. That's the goal. So let's spin right now and see who I wind up focusing on in the month of November. If you want to join me too, you're more than welcome. Or you can make a spinner of your own about anything you want. It could be books you want to read. It could be authors, whatever, honestly. It's just fun, right? I'm going to do this on my computer. It should be right here so you can see it as well. I'm going to click spin. This is really exciting, actually. Okay, Elizabeth Hoyt. Oh my gosh, I know exactly where I'm going to start with Elizabeth Hoyt. So I did a historical romance book haul recently, and I included Elizabeth Hoyt in the book haul because her books seemed so interesting to me. And many of you talked to me about the Maiden Lane series. So in the month of November, I'm going to be reading as many Maiden Lane series books as I can. We'll see how many I get to, but I'm really excited, and I want to thank you guys for giving me the idea of the Maiden Lane series. Recently, I talked about how much I loved Fourth Wing, and then I found out through you guys that the next book, Iron Flame, comes out November 7th. I can't wait, and Teddy Hamilton is going to be resuming his role as narrator, who is like one of my narrator boyfriends, and I'm sure the female narrator, whose name I didn't bother to know, is also probably coming back. I'm just so excited, and I cannot wait to enjoy this 28-hour audiobook. 28 hours. Another audio I'm hoping to start today because it comes out on the 7th of November, Bookshops and Bone Dust. This goes along with the series Legends and Lattes, which many of you know and love. It's a cozy fantasy, and I can't wait to get to this arc. But unfortunately, NetGalley seems to be down right now, so I'm really hoping I can listen to this entire book and put out my review by November 7th. Time will tell. Speaking of November 7th, there's a slew of books that I have been absolutely in love with that are all coming out on November 7th. Checkmate plus Allie Hazelwood. I thought it was a YA. It's definitely new adult, not young adult, about two people that are chess prodigies who are 18 and 20 years old who may be falling in love. I'm reading the arc right now. I'm having so much fun. She's such an incredible writer. Also out on November 7th, One Night in Heartswood. You may remember me gushing and gushing about this book over the summer during the historical romance readathon. This is an romance set at winter time that totally swept me away. I was captivated by the romance and the emotion and the intensity. It's a road trip. It's set during medieval times. It was gorgeous. I gave it 4.5 stars. Also, The Good Part by Sophie Cousins is coming out on November 7th. This is about a woman who's 26 who fast forwards to the good part in her life, where she's 42 with the perfect life supposedly, but has missed out on almost 2 decades of her life. So she's got to decide, does she want to go back and live those years even though they were crummy, or stay and have missed out on a good chunk of her life but be with a fabulous husband, kids, great job. Very interesting book. Here's another ARC or advanced reader's copy that I'm reading in November that comes out this month. It's called Plot Twist. I found it so interesting I couldn't help myself. This is about a romance writer who's never been in love, so she decides to meet with her exes to find out what went wrong. She wants to put it all on social media too because she needs a little press and is rapidly running out of time before the deadline of her next book. Well, thankfully, her landlord, Dash, who happens to be a former teen heartthrob, knows social media quite well and is willing to help her. He actually has his own pottery business, which helps him with his sobriety, which he's keeping on the down low because apparently he's from Hollywood royalty and has to be very secretive. So the two of them start working together. They decide to try out a friends with benefits situation, but I have a feeling there's going to be more to it. I can't wait to dive into this. You may not know this about me, but I am a tea fanatic. In fact, I have a mug of tea right here that I'm drinking as I usually do when I'm filming. I need it because, as you may notice, it's the beginning of a new month, so of course we're sick again. Every month! I don't know what the deal is. We just bring new germs in. Anyway, I'm going to be reading another arc. This one is a cozy mystery. Couldn't help myself. As I mentioned, I love tea, so when I saw the cover and the title, Murder in a Cup, I thought, oh my gosh, I have to read this. Let me just read you the tagline real quick. As a descendant of an Irish witch and the owner of a new age tea shop, intuitive gemologist Shay Myers has been living her most authentic life since moving home to California's scenic Monterey Peninsula. What is not to love in that sentence? But in the latest Crystals and Curiosities mystery from best-selling author Lauren Elliott, not even her heightened senses can predict how to run a business or catch a killer. I am in. And because you know I can't help myself and I read way too many arcs as it is, I also snagged one from Mary Jo Putney. I fell in love with her last Christmas when I read one of her Christmas novellas. I haven't read her since, so when I saw that she had a new book coming out at the end of November called Silver Lady, I had to give it a try. Again, I need to read this tagline to you. Listen to this. From the New York Times bestselling author Mary Jo Putney, the first in an intoxicating historical romance series set on the rugged Cornish coast, filled with swashbuckling adventure and real-life history, intrigue, and an unshakable love, perfect for fans of Poldark. Poldark. Now I'm thinking of him, and he is yummy. He's yummy. Let's face it, a smoldering nobleman and a beautiful amnesiac with paranormal gifts discover they share a powerful passion, a unique legacy, and a common enemy. Yes, I want to read this right this minute while thinking of him. Speaking of cozy mysteries, I am going to be doing a tri-chapter challenge for fall cozy mysteries. I think it's going to come out next week, actually, so I'm really excited. I've been having a lot of fun already looking at these chapters, and some of them are Thanksgiving themed and some are just fall themed, but they're all bringing those cozy autumn feels, so I can't wait to share it with you. I fell in love with Hannah Bonham Young when I read Next of Kin. Well, Next to You just came available at the library, so I'm going to be reading that this month. It's a contemporary romance that everyone has told me is better than Next of Kin, so I'm really excited. Two people that can't stop raving about this, by the way. I always love the books they recommend, Avery of Ava's Romance Books and Autumn of Nose in a Book, so you know it's going to be good. I mostly enjoyed Beyond the Highland Mist, book 1 of the Highlander series by Karen Marie Moning. And now I'm excited to read book 2, which is this. I didn't look at the title, so here it is. Can't wait to read more about Highlanders, time-traveling women, and the Fae who just like messing with them. So, should be a wacky and fun time. I gotta plan an alien romance, so I'm going to be reading Ice Home Book 6, Devi's Distraction. I'm going into it blind, as I tend to do. I do enjoy a good Ruby Dixon every single month since I started almost a year ago. Always a good time. Since it's still fall, I want to read one more football romance. This one was recommended by Christy of Christy Reads a Lot, called The Rivalry by Nikki Sloan, and it looks like so much fun. We have two people that start to fall for one another without realizing that they're affiliated with football teams that are deep rivals. So it looks good, especially speaking of looks good, this cover, are you kidding? I mean, it even says on there, no one can resist this tight end. I mean, it's true. I have a goal of rereading all of Abby Jimenez's books by the time her next book comes out in April. In order to do that, I'm going to be rereading the first book she ever published, The Friend Zone, which is book 1 of the Friend Zone series. I did enjoy this. This is probably my least favorite book, though, that she ever wrote because it becomes quite intense. There is a death of a pretty prominently featured secondary character. This one is all about two people that are enemies to lovers. He is desperate to keep her, but she doesn't feel like she can give him the one thing that he wants, so she pushes him away. He's, as always, with Abby Jimenez's characters, a cinnamon roll hero. Always does anything he can for the girl. I loved it so much. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. I think there's more than enough planned, although we'll see what else I get into. There's always a few surprises here and there, but that makes it even more fun. What about you? What are you excited to read in the month of November? I can't wait to hear. Let us know in the comments. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying whatever it is you're reading, regardless of what month it is. Until next time, thanks so much. Take care. Bye.